Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. Are you ready to go? LB, are you ready to go? Nikki, you ready to go? We're going to do this. Laura, you ready to go? All right, we're going to do it. We're going to kill it.
Are you ready?
Every one of us. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. We are going to kill it.
Yes. Is it running? Recording?
It is.
It's good? Okay. Who did and who didn't? Who did a second one? You
Let's
did
do
a second one? Y'all did it? You want to do a second one? I mean, for the white. Which one do you want?
It doesn't matter.
You pick. Okay. Let me get it warm right here. Okay.
Oh, is that frozen?
No. I was just joking. It just melted and leaked all over the table.
Go for it, Laura. Kick us off.
Oh, well, I was going to wait.
LB and I are just going to be doing jello shots. It's fine.
Yeah,
Why
it's
not?
fun.
It adds to the
flavor.
We can't even introduce ourselves because we're taking jello shots.
There you go.
Y'all, the
I
other one.
stop and just
The other one,
watch.
put all in my mouth. That I had to go. I walked to the trash can. I was like, this thing is coming out of my mouth. So I'm just trying to take it easy.
I've never seen somebody bite a jello shot.
Like, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but you do you. Okay, hey Sippers, Laura here. We're back for another episode. I've got my friends. We got Brianna,
Hey.
LB, slurping on the jello shot. LB,
Still finishing her jello shot.
and Nikki.
What up?
And we're happy to be back for another episode of 4 Sips In. So I'm hosting tonight, and I picked out the wine. It's Oliver Apple Pie. Matt he bought this for me a while back to see if I would like it, and I fell in love with it, so I've decided I wanted to share it with you guys. But it says, pour yourself a slice and enjoy. Crisp, tart, fresh apples balanced with soft vanilla a la mode and comforting notes of cinnamon and nutmeg. No forks required, chill or heat to share this delicious treat. And Brianna has chilled it for us. For snacks, I chat GPT'd what do you pair with apple pie wine? And everything that came up on chat GPT, I bought. And we did like a little mini charcuterie board thing. So we've got almonds, shortbread cookies, crackers, cheese, sausage balls, apple slices, and caramel popcorn. Each of us have our
I
own
am
little-
excited for this array of things to try with
I mean,
wine.
I worked
like,
really
this
hard.
is exciting.
And, I mean, Matt made the sausage balls. Those were an add-in. That is not what came up on ChatGPT. But he decided to make them last night, and I figured I would add those in for you guys. But everything else, like, I went to the store. I had a grocery list.
Yes.
I shopped. I
So
bought
impressed.
these little mini things for you, whatever, the bowl thing. And then I put them together today. So I'm proud of myself. But hopefully they go well with the wine. And what I really like about it is
A twist off.
Thank God I don't have the brain power to take
twist
off of
off.
work tonight. I don't. After what happened last time.
Who's ready?
Oh, me. It smells like a Riesling. What kind is this?
Is it a Moscato?
I don't know. Apple pie.
It's apple. It's not even made with grapes. It's just made with
It's
crushed up
apple wine.
Oh, it's apple wine.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
apple
It's not
wine.
bad. I'm not a cinnamon person. That's not bad.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
That's going to be a
Ooh.
great fall.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a great
Right?
fall.
Wow, that's good. I was afraid it was going to be like super sweet.
Right.
And
That
it
is like-
pairs well with all of this. Eat it together, and I bet
It's a good cider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cider. That's yeah.
I was scared it was going to be like really like cinnamon, like
Well, I'm
forceful.
glad you guys like it because I love it.
You're just showing out tonight, Laura.
I like Oliver wines though. They have like Moscatos
Okay.
that are really good.
I need all of you to take a bite of the shortbread cookie and then a sip of wine. It is phenomenal.
So that's the best pairing right so far.
Well, I've tried two, but
I work.
yeah, that's good.
I feel like the caramel and popcorn.
It like felt a little bit like the crust of the apple
Right.
pie,
Oh, yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this.
and this is Gouda cheese.
It's going to be a fun
Oh,
episode.
look.
And we will be right back. Hey Sippers, it's Laura with 4 Sips In. Looking for something new for girls' night? Head on over to Fifth and Handle Spirits and Cigars in Bristol Park Public Shopping Center in Northport. They have amazing selections, great pricing, and friendly and knowledgeable staff ready to help you choose your next bottle. Mention 4 Sips In to get 15% off your next wine purchase.
I'm hosting tonight. I've got my little yellow bag here.
I like it.
You guys
I'm excited to
see
find out
what's
what's in it.
in it? Well, I don't know if you guys have realized, but we have recorded for 6 months now.
Wow.
I think this is actually like our 6-month episode.
Sweet.
Very
so
cool.
I feel like that has given us enough time to really get to know each other and
Oh, dear
get
God.
really
Oh, no.
comfortable with each other. And I know you guys know how much I hate small talk and despise small talk.
Oh boy.
So I decided that
You made me
tonight,
cry, Laura.
I decided that tonight. So I did less because these are like
Talking.
Deep. These
yeah.
are deep,
Thought-provoking.
thought-provoking questions. I've got 10 thought-provoking questions in the bag,
All right.
and we can do whatever we want. Like pick one, we can whatever, however you guys want to do it. But they're meant to be thought-provoking.
So can I ask this? When I am thinking, can you give me a little bit of time? Like,
Yeah, because we can edit it.
Yeah.
out.
okay, because like my brain
Yeah,
is
take
very
your time.
hard to.
We're not in any rush. Like I really want to hear like deep.
Yeah.
Like I want to get below the surface.
Yeah. It was,
Which sometimes I feel like we do that, but
Yeah.
a lot of times we are very like
mm-hmm.
surface level.
Surface level. Yeah.
So I was hoping tonight we could go a little deeper. 6 months.
Yeah.
I think our trust pyramid is in the. Is that where we're at? Like this is our
We're
exercise
scoring at
in
least
trust.
a 7 here.
Yeah, yeah. This is maybe an 8.
we can try
Maybe.
the trust bridge or trust ball.
Oh, that'd be our next TikTok. Trust ball.
We should do that after more wine. It would be funnier.
On carpet. Yeah. Right. The rug.
Yeah, rug.
Yeah, you're just bringing out all the things, all the stops. I was thinking about that too. How like this is like midway through the year / when we started.
Nat actually pointed it out to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Well, that goes great into what I'm planning on doing for the episode.
All right,
Okay,
so do
are
you
you
think this is one where, like, we all answer, or we just talk about, like, are they questions? Are they topics?
They are questions, but they are deep questions, and yes, one of them is, "What is your biggest fear?" That is one of the
I
questions.
figured.
But it can be however you guys want. I mean, there were some that I could not come up with an answer for, so I'm just hoping I don't get those because I literally could not come up with an answer for it.
Yeah.
And that might be.
So it might happen.
It might happen. But I mean, I can get into the reasons why I couldn't come up with an answer, but
Yeah.
hopefully I just don't get that question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But if anything is like, you don't feel comfortable answering, just don't, and maybe someone else will.
Yeah.
Just however you guys want to do it.
yeah. All right.
Who goes first?
Okay. Do we need another shot?
We might. I don't know. Do you guys want me to go first? Or is there a brave soul that wants to pick from the bag?
Nikki's a brave
The
soul.
bright yellow bag.
I've had 2 Jello shots.
You're
Let me
right.
at it.
What's a movie that scared you as a kid and why? The first movie that pops to my head is The Wizard of Oz.
What?
I've
It's
never
scared
seen
you?
it, but a lot of people have told me
What?
it scared them as kids.
Those flying monkeys. The flying monkeys, the green witch, and then at the end, like, I vividly remember, like, when they're going down the hall to see the wizard, just, like, knots in my stomach, like, what is gonna pop out of this hall?
Like the oh that part.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
can see
do
that.
have a different one on this question. So, have any of you guys ever seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
No.
those came out when I was pretty young, and an older friend's mom took us to go see the first one as like pretty young children. And I remember some moment in the first movie where like a guy is like stabbed like 3 times, or he's got like 3 swords going through him. Just there's a lot of blood. It was super gory. That's probably the only time I have left a movie theater. Like I
were you?
left the theater. I was in elementary school, lower elementary school. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but to this day I have never seen a Lord of the Rings movie. Not a single one of any of them.
Can you watch gore in
because-
other movies?
Yeah, I can watch gore in other movies, and I could probably watch them now, but it just has such like a negative
Yeah.
energy to
See?
me that it's like, oh, I don't want to see it, because like that was terrifying. This is so gory and like,
Stuck with you when you were that age.
yeah.
What the one that like still sticks with me, and I know a lot of people talk about this, is the Final Destination and not getting behind a log truck ever.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
The roller coaster one
Yeah,
gets me.
like mine is always I'm driving driving and I get behind a log truck and I'm like, I gotta go around. I can't.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, the only thing I could, like, It. The original It.
Oh,
I think it's because he was supposed to be a clown. It's supposed to be funny and nice. And I was 7 years old watching, like, Freddy Krueger, Jason, like, none of that stuff. Chucky, none of it bothered me. But with It, I was young, the original. And something about it is because clown represents all these things, and then it turned into, like, opposite. And so it was like it tricked you.
Yeah, right.
It was like,
yeah.
you're supposed to be a fun,
Really got
happy
you
thing.
as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a mind twister.
Yeah.
I just didn't like scary movies, so I don't like that feeling, that anxiety feeling.
Yeah, me either.
I used to love them only because they didn't affect me. I mean, I would watch it and, like, my family members would be like, "Ugh, I'm scared," hiding their eyes, and I'm just 8 years old, like, watching, like, whatever.
Well, no, I wouldn't be scared. I would hide my eyes, but then I would go to bed later, and that's when I would think about it, and then I'd be like, there's something under my bed. There's something trying to get in. Like, that's when it hit me. It never hit me when I was watching, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot watch the, like, realistic ones.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, like, The Ring, where the girl, like, climbs out of the well and everything. Like, well, I don't live anywhere near a well. Like, that's probably not going to happen, you know, where
It'll be
someone's,
alright.
like, trying to drown me in a bathtub and, like, all these other things. Like, that's probably not going to happen to me. But, like, you know, it was, like, I watched Law & Order SVU up until the point where I was the same age as the special victim. You know, is, like, the victims. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Now I
It's
can't.
realistic.
Because now it's super realistic.
Yeah.
And so it's the same way for me with, I don't watch a lot of movies, but, like, I feel the same way about even trying to watch a movie, that it would be, like, a realistic horror.
See, realistic horrors, and then, like, just, like, some of my favorite shows, like, one of my favorite series is Supernatural. I love it. Like, I've seen it, like, through to the end, probably, like, 3 or 4 times. That's one of those, like, Gilmore Girls that I just go back to. That doesn't scare me, because most of that, like, I know is not going to happen. It's not real.
Is it, like, magic or something?
Yeah, and it's not, like, a dark horror kind of thing to me. It's the dark, like, horror stuff that I just can't get behind and want to be. Like, I just don't like my mind being in those places.
That's fair.
For sure. Y'all are gonna laugh at me, but Goosebumps was what got me. I'm not
That's
into
fair.
I'm not
fair.
into horror stuff. Like, no.
The shows? Was it?
Yeah,
was
the
it a
shows.
show?
I mean, it's always gonna be the music and the and the just like.
Did you ever watch Tales from the Crypt?
Uh-huh.
With the old guy. Like, do y'all too young to know? Do y'all know? What that is?
I choose not to. Like,
Oh.
I like horror, you know, thriller. I just don't. I cannot jive with that. Like, I just
Fair.
don't. So Goosebumps got me, and, like, you know, there's probably some others. Like, I know we, like, joked around about Jaws, but Jaws was kind of scary to me too. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you know the TVs weren't so big, and so yeah.
There were some good effects back then.
Yeah. So that's what is coming to my mind. Like, even this day, like, my kid will start to watch it, and I'm like, it's the music, you know.
Yeah.
But now it looks fake. But
Well, I don't even like, I'm pretty much Piper, just watch whatever you want. I don't like her watching, like, scary stuff because I feel like it just puts your mind in a dark place.
Yeah.
it does.
And if you're comfortable in that dark place, that scares me, Laura.
If it's realistic, if it's realistic, I don't like Dustin to watch it. Like, if it's SVU, rape, that type of thing, I'm like, no, you don't need to watch that. But if it's something that is, like, not magic or something like that, I'm totally okay with the gore and him watching it. But if it's, like, could potentially happen, I'd rather he not watch it.
right.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready to pick me a bag, Obi?
Yes. I'm so ready.
So that wasn't that bad. Was
No,
it what
no,
you
that
was
was an
expecting?
easy one.
Okay.
No.
Was that the easiest one?
No, I mean, I don't like that.
What's 1 to 2 overrated things and 1 to 2 underrated things?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't get that one.
All right. So one that's immediately coming to my mind for underrated things is giving gratitude. Like, underrated, like, it's so simple or easy, but, like, it changes some, like, your whole focus. So that's a one underrated thing. One overrated things are horror movies. Overrated. Gosh. I feel like I say like that's overrated a few times a month, so I should know this answer. Does anybody else want to answer while I think or think about it?
Okay, so I can think of 2 overrated things. One right now for me is Gypsy Rose.
Oh,
I'm so tired of some Gypsy Rose.
I don't know what that is.
It's this girl that her mom had like, what is it, Munchausen's or something?
Munchausen's
by
Proxy, and like did all these things to the kid to make her make it look like she was sick or whatever. And so she ended up like killing her mom. And then
she had her boyfriend kill her mom.
Yes, and then went to jail, and she just got out of jail this year. And everybody loves Gypsy Rose. She's got her own TV show. The girl came out of prison married.
But she's already divorcing him, right?
Is already divorcing him and pregnant supposedly by somebody else.
By her first fiance while she was in prison.
I'm just like, come on. Why are we glorifying this whole thing? Like that,
Like she was a victim.
she was a victim, but she did also kill someone
She
too.
did
Why are we-
also have someone killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think we should be glorifying it, for sure.
Yeah, so she's really,
Yeah,
like,
but
every time I
agree
see
with
her,
that wholeheartedly.
like, and her face is just one of those faces that's really annoying. Like, just
No,
looking at it.
I'm there with you on that. Yeah.
Um,
Nose.
Yeah, like you just know that like she
And her voice.
Yeah,
too.
like you just know that like, oh, that's somebody you wouldn't like.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's like nails on a chalkboard when she talks to me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
on there.
Yes.
Number 2, overrated. What's 2 overrated things? Are these water bottles? Like, I love Miss Stanley, but why are we toting around like a weapon like every single day?
Okay, so I get having like a couple because they do keep your water cold. What I do not get is decorating with them. That's
Right.
what's overrated. People decorate their desks with them.
Really?
Decorate their kitchens with them. I'm like, how much water do you drink where you need 25 bottles? And they're not cheap.
Why would you ever need more than one?
Right.
Like, why? Like, I can see, like, having one for 1 to 2 years and getting another one, but why do you need 45 of them
Right.
lined up on your wall? That's
Yeah,
just...
it makes no sense. The first time that like I got a 40-ounce tumbler, I did get 2, but it was because they were Stanley knockoffs and they came in a 2-pack. Like that's why I got 2. And then I think it was for Christmas, I got the 30-ounce one, which to me is
Enough.
a better size
Yeah.
because I don't know, it feels like you're carrying around less of a weapon. But I also probably don't drink as much water as I should have. So you know what? Maybe I'm overrated. But yeah, I don't get the need to have like, especially the same style in like all these colors, and the people who collect them and go to the drops for them. I'm like,
That line up at Target and fight over them?
Yeah.
Why are you fighting over a water bottle? Like, that's the stupidest thing to me.
yeah. But I guess like kudos to those people that like that's the biggest thing they have to worry about in their life is like, you know, the water bottle. So good for them.
And if we just lost you as a listener, we apologize. We do not hate you.
We're getting canceled on this
The water bottle.
thing.
Underrated things are just being nice. Just being a good person.
Yes. Giving grace.
Giving grace, being a good person. Like, I don't know why everybody can't just be a good person. That one, I feel like everybody feels like people are out to get them. Somebody's trying to screw them. Or we're just gonna like, just be like a keyboard warrior here and just be mean. Like, there's no reason to just be mean in life.
Like hide behind your...
You know what?
Yeah.
The internet, social media is very overrated.
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
say that.
Yes.
I mean, I spend a lot of time on social media, so no hate to anyone who does that. Like, I do that too. But it can also be very overrated of like, people feel like they have to be on there and have to be, you know, doing all these things and everything. And like, gosh, I just...
Yeah. No, I've been in that space for probably a week or so thinking of like, don't get me wrong, I utilize all these things I'm about to say. But like, I'm just thinking of like all the things that we have, like me and my family, you know, like Netflix, HBO, you know, like all these things that like we don't need to survive, essentially. That's overrated to me. I'm like, it would be nice to not do all that. And like, I can feel more connected to my people and just with who I am as a person. But I mean, am I going to
With
cancel
less
these?
noise.
No.
Right. It's one of those
Yeah,
things
less
that
noise.
it's like,
Yeah.
remember when we were all super excited to get rid of our cable bill? Because like we had this high cable bill and we didn't have to have cable anymore. And that was awesome because you went to like subscription-based TV. But then you got Netflix and then you got Hulu and then you got Amazon
These
Prime and then you got
things.
Paramount Plus and then you got HBO and you're like, wait a second.
Disney, yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't forget that one. That one
ESPN.
might be a need actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you add all those up and you're like, man, I wish I was just paying a cable bill.
Right, I know. What happened?
Yeah.
Like, I was so excited. And then this
It's
is what happened.
overrated just to have the things that we think we need. I mean, but I've been in that space. So I'm like, because I know my family would like lose it if I'm like, okay, let's just stop doing this.
Same, because literally throughout the day, I listen to podcasts while I'm working usually. That's the norm, unless I really need some comfort, and then I'll turn on Netflix, and right now it's Gilmore Girls for me.
Smart.
So that's my comfort at the moment. But whenever I get home, there's never time to sit down and actually watch TV. I come in, I cook dinner, I do all of these things. I take Piper wherever we need to go. And when I lay down in bed, I don't turn on the TV. I just turn on TikTok for 20 minutes, and then I'm like falling asleep because the melatonin's kicked in and I'm just done.
Yeah.
There's no time for me to sit and watch a lot of TV. Either Netflix or Hulu is what is good for me to keep because it has my comfort shows on it. But other than that, I don't need it. And if Piper wasn't always fighting with me about like every time I cancel one, she needs the other.
Yeah.
So
Just because, like, you know, I'm a therapist, so I just talk to people all day. Like, another underrated thing that I've just been thinking about as well is just, like, doing the things that we need. Like, you know, if you need silence or, like, self-care or, I mean, just really, I think the whole concept is just, like, thinking that something is too small or it won't make a difference. And actually, even if you just take 1 minute to do something for yourself, and that's, like, anything, like, you can stare at a wall for all I care. Like I did the other day because I was way overstimulated. I just sat there on the floor. I was like, silence. But it's just like doing like something for yourself for 1 minute a day, you know, a week, whatever. That's just so underrated because it seems to either easy or not good
and
enough.
then you feel guilty about it.
Right. So
Doing it and not feeling guilty. I was thinking what's underrated is mental health.
yeah,
Like it should be the norm that I need a mental health day. Like give me a mental health day. Like sometimes I just need to separate myself from the world and give me that time, and then I'll come back better and
yeah.
stronger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely underrated to take that time for yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
And there's still that stigma around it. I think it's getting better.
Yeah,
But
I think it's getting. I mean, I'm in
It's
it.
getting
so
better,
like
but I don't think it's fully there
Yeah, it's
yet.
not.
Yeah,
It's not fully.
yeah.
I think it's because people are petty.
Always be. That's overrated. Being petty.
Yeah.
But it's so easy. So easy. Especially if you're like, I'm way more petty when I'm like overwhelmed or stimulated over, you know, just everything. Because I have a shorter fuse. And that's overrated.
You ready, Brianna?
Guess
Fix
so.
the yellow bag. It's not that
I feel like I
bad.
need more wine.
Uh-oh.
It's a very
Womp
tough one.
womp.
Let's hear it. What'd you get?
What's a song that sounds like your brain today?
Ooh.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah, no, this is a good one. This has me really thinking because
Ready to get submission?
Yes.
What's the
In the name of.
yes.
Maybe that a little bit. But so I am very like all over the place in my music taste and what I listen to. And so one of the things that I do, and so I feel like this is a story to like go into what song sounds like my brain today. But one of the things that I do is like if I drop the girls off in the morning at school, then, you know, I decide what songs I'm going to listen to on the way to work. So it's, you know, that
The 1 minute.
right. Yeah.
There you go.
No, I mean, I can
your
usually
time.
get like 1 to 2 songs in, but that's like my time to like set the mood for the day and like what do I need this morning. And so I ended up listening to it. This is so bad, but I listened
It was
to
Limp
it like
Bizkit.
on the way. I listened to it on the way to work, and then from like work to lunch back to work, and then like work to a meeting that I had to go to. And I think it was like one of those things where like sometimes, you know, you just need like someone to tell you that like everything's gonna be okay and like it's all gonna work out. And like for me, that song is "Paint Me a Birmingham" by Tracy Lawrence. Of like, I'm just like in my mind, I was just like, okay, like paint me a Birmingham, like paint me the perfect picture of like how this will all turn out. And that was just like what I needed today. So
I love that Brianna's like a like.
Were you singing?
Like
to
a-
it?
oh, I was just like, oh,
Brianna's like, give me a song that hugs me,
yes.
and I'm like, break.
I sometimes when I'm going into work, I'm like, okay, well, I need hype up music, so give me "A Ladies" by Travis Porter. Like, you know, we gotta hype ourselves up for the day. But today it was like, no, like I need, I need that comic. And so I do belt it. So I just always, my hope is just that like no one sees me on the way to work or they're just like, bless Brianna. Like, I don't know what she's going through.
But she needed this.
Yeah. I hope she has a good day. So I hope if they see me just belting it out, they're just sending good vibes, good thoughts, and are just like, looks like
now,
she
do you have
needs
hand?
it. Like,
I know you're driving, but do you have any gestures?
Oh, at least one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting full into it. You would not believe the Birmingham I was painting this morning.
Amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
That white picket fence was like the Roman Empire in my mind today. It's fun.
Nice. That's really cool.
Do any of y'all have a song that sounds like your brain today? Is that what it says? Yeah, sounds like your brain today. Mine's weird because it's every day for me, but it's not really a song. But it's something that like soothes me. And so at random times during the day, I'll just belt it out. And I do it probably, talk to Matt about this, and he says I do it when I'm really stressed. So it's almost like it helps me calm down. Or I do it when I'm really happy. So it's almost like, I don't know.
It's like a regulator. Like,
I don't know, but it's I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, standing in a row, boom, 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 big ones, small ones, about the size of your head, from the Lion King.
Yes, that's incredible.
But I will be like, and Dustin's used to it. Everyone in the house is used to it because I'll just be like in my bedroom. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
and so like they don't know which side of the spectrum you're on.
I mean, he's like, when I'm stressed, it's a little lower.
Okay.
And then when I'm happy and got a lot of energy, it's high pitched. And I'm like over, and I will do it over and over again at the top of my lungs. But I'm like, you don't have a clue what I do when no one's home. Like, it's even worse when no one's home. But I definitely do it when people are home. So I just think that's like on replay in my brain at all times. I don't know why I resonated with that, but as a kid watching The Lion King, it stuck with me.
So recently I was going to just Amazon on the music app, and lately I've just been going to the playlist Feeling Happy, because I'm like, I need you to put this in me.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like one song, but it is a playlist that's been on repeat for about a week and a half, so I know what songs are going to come up.
So they're like upbeat.
Yeah,
type
upbeat,
songs.
Good, nice, you know.
Is that what your brain feels like, or is that what you're trying to get your
No,
brain
that's
to
what I'm
feel
trying to get my brain
Yeah.
to feel like. Yeah, correct. Yes.
So self-fulfilling.
Yeah. Now, God, I don't, like, honestly, I don't even know what, probably, I know what it's like. It is like Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, that's good.
It's like one way.
Is it?
No. Like, I can relate to that. Like,
I mean, like, right. It's like,
Jump.
Yeah, it's like controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in where I am in my season of life right now. So it was funny because it's like last time I hosted, I was like, cheers to the summer, we're full in it. And now I'm like, roasting the summer, we're full in it. Like, I mean, which I, love it. But anyway, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is my song.
Your turn.
All right, Laura,
You
you
have a
ready?
song?
Yeah, hers was raging.
Yeah. Yes, Eminem.
What is your favorite present you've ever favorite present I've ever received? So I think about when I was a kid, like I think about the things that I think you sort of take for granted, like getting gifts nowadays. It's just sort of, it's expected, sort of. But when we were kids, it wasn't. It was like, you know how people talk about the old days and they're like, yeah, we got like an orange in our sock and you were happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like that type of thing. So it was like never an opportunity to like ask for something and actually get it. Now we did have like churches help, and so, but they helped, right? But they don't know you, and so you couldn't be like, hey, this is me as a person. So I remember when you're getting like loafers for shoes, or it was like these are great things from this church that's trying to help, but it wasn't individualized and didn't necessarily resonate with me. So when I think about something that really meant a lot to me, I think I was like 9 years old, and we were at Winn-Dixie, and we were with my uncle, and I don't know if you guys have seen these, but you know those teddy bears have like the year on the foot.
Oh, yeah.
The hang in the things. I saw them hanging from like Winn-Dixie or whatever. And I was like telling my family, I was like, man, I really want that teddy bear. Like I was like super excited about that damn teddy bear. And never thought in a million years I would get it. Well, my uncle actually got that teddy bear. And I think I cried more than I've ever, like, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Things have touched me and like I've felt like thankful and touched, but never to that extreme. Not like when I was a kid and getting something that had my heart set on, really felt like this is really what I want, and then actually getting it.
Yeah.
So this was my uncle that got me this random teddy bear from Winn-Dixie. I ended up losing the damn teddy bear in a fire. I had that teddy bear up until like as an adult. That was my favorite.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if we can beat that because of just where I was at that time.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
What's y'all favorite present?
I think that the one that I look back on of like, it's not necessarily about the gift, but the effort that went into it. Like is a child, you guys remember when the Nintendo Wii came out, which is like the active one where you actually like, like
Wii Fit
hit where you like hit the remote for the tennis and everything like that. Well, I really wanted a Wii because I was also super bad at actual video games. So I was like, well, something we can like bowl with and maybe I'll be better. I don't know. But I was so excited about this Wii had come out and I really wanted it, but they were incredibly hard to get. Like just a few came in the store and they immediately went out. I mean, you had to camp out for them. And so I ended up getting one for Christmas, but it was because like my dad and I think my brother was with him too. They had camped out at multiple different stores just to get high enough in line to get one for me. So, like obviously at the time as a child, I was super excited that I got the Wii, right? Because they were so hard to get and I really wanted one. But like looking back, that one means so much to me because now I know all of the effort that went in to get that. And I, even remember the sleepless night that they had and how my mom made my brother go to church the next morning so it didn't seem suspicious that he was out all night with my dad to help get it for me. And so I'd say that one. And then my first Mother's Day after having Abby, it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day. Tom sent me flowers to work. And again, it wasn't about the flowers, but it was about the card. And the card had a message from him. And then he had them write like how Andy would say it at the time, like, I love you. Aww. And then he just had it say like, ooh, ooh, ooh from Abby. And I just thought that was so sweet that he like put the messages in how the girls would say it. And so like I get these flowers at work and I read the card and I'm like crying in my office, over what the card says. And I'm like, I'm sure anybody coming by thinks like, oh, I'm so dramatic. I'm crying over flowers. But, to me, it was like the effort on the card of like making it be from all of them and, how they would have said it at 2 and 5 months, 4 months.
Yes. Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Do y'all have a favorite present? Nothing stands out?
The ones that stand out are just like the heartfelt ones and like really the ones like you least expect,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you listen, and then, there's a couple I'm like, I didn't expect this. This is heartfelt, like a homemade gift type thing. So
I remember one year my dad, so my dog Patches was my first dog. I got him when I was 12. He passed away, I think, when I was like 25. So I had him throughout my entire childhood. I used to paint his fingernails, or his, what are they called? Toenails? His paw nails. I used to paint him glittery.
I don't know if that's what they're called, but that sounds so funny.
His paw nails, whatever. So he was like my dog, right? And so I had him all through childhood, and then as moving out and becoming an adult, and then he passed. But my dad got a photograph of him and went somewhere, and they painted a photograph. And so I got that one year for Christmas,
cool.
and I bawled my eyes out because
that's awesome.
and I still have it. It's in my living room. Like that survived the fire, thankfully. It's a hand painted Patches.
Yeah.
He was a little Australian Shepherd. My first little baby. That meant a lot.
And how old did he live?
So if I had him at 12 and he died when I was like 25, 13
years.
Oh, yeah.
He lived a good long life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like blind and like couldn't hear, was
Yeah.
like getting loose, and I was so like paranoid about
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
He lived a good long life.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. You ready?
Let's see.
We got
Back
enough for
to you,
2
Nikki.
for everyone and a couple more.
What's your favorite childhood memory? I mean, like, I have a lot of good memories, so I don't know how I take the favorite. Does that make sense? Like, I have good memories, but it's not, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know how
That's a tough one.
I don't know how to
Yeah,
quantify
like,
which one is the best.
That's tough.
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know how to
It's a good
quantify.
one.
I think one of the things that I think about is so my grandfather, who ended up passing away my freshman year of college, but we were very close, and like we lived like a mile from my grandmother and grandfather, so we were always at their house, and he just always did, you know, awesome stuff for us, as did my grandmother. Of like, you know, they planted trees in their yard to like represent the grandchildren and everything. But I remember that he was gonna build us this tree house, and so my brother and I would help build this like tree house fort thing that we were building in their backyard. And you know, in my mind as like a young kid, we were building like the greatest thing ever. I don't think we ever built anything more than like 4 posts in a platform, but I just remember like it
2x4.
Hey, that was just because he was climbing up there. He climbed up there without them, and so we're
Yeah,
like,
no.
okay,
Had to
let's
put 'em in.
just
yeah, no, this was not connected to a tree, so it was just
Oh,
like
oh,
a
just
fully
part- okay.
it was just like a fully separate big
like a deer
platform.
stand.
No, I mean, it didn't even have walls. I mean, we're talking about like a stage.
a stage.
Basically. Because there were all these like grand plans to, you know, keep building it and keep going. But I do remember that like we just built this platform. And as a child, you know, I thought that it was so cool that he let us help do that. And he always had us like on the lawnmower riding around mowing with him, you know, even though like the blade wouldn't be on, he would have already mowed, you know, and had us on it. But we built this thing, and I remember thinking like, this is the biggest, tallest thing that I have ever been on. And I mean, it was probably like a 10 by 10, you know, 6
everything
foot
looks
platform.
so much bigger when you're little.
Right, yeah.
You ever go back to elementary school?
Yeah.
But it was just so cool. And like the thought that, you know, they would do that. And obviously, you know, I love that my parents moved us so close to them that we could have, you know, a very close relationship. Sometimes like I look back and just laugh about that. You know, attempted fort of like how great it was, but how if I looked at it now, I'd probably be like, oh, what happened? But I never questioned it back then, I
Right.
don't think.
You think it's completely normal. My grandparents had goats, and so they would get like the cushion out of the rocking chair,
Yeah.
and they'd go tie it to the goat, and they'd like parade us around on the goats, like riding the goats.
And you were just like, this is what everybody
This
does.
is completely
This
normal.
is
Just riding the goats around, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've like growing up with like all boy cousins, like having all boys. I just think of all this, if you can imagine all the things, being at a grandparents' house and being at the river house we went to. So there's a lot of memories there. It's hard to sift through of like what's my favorite.
They're all your favorite.
They're all my favorite. But most of all, I wish I could go, not back to being a kid, but go back to like simple, what would be like simple life. And I mean, I know I wasn't the adult, but God, it just seems like everything was so much more simpler then.
Because it was black and white.
Yeah.
You're just looking through the lens of
Yeah, it's
innocence.
You want to pick one, LB?
Oh, it's my turn.
Go next.
I get caught up rubbing these earrings. like, where-
At least it's not the random hair that I kept pulling at today. I finally had to get tweezers, and I was like,
Oh, it was connected to your chin?
uh-huh.
God. What's your relationship like with your siblings? So I have one brother, and you know, we talk every now and then.
Are you older or younger?
I'm 2 years younger.
So you're the younger sister.
Yes. So it's good, you know. We talk. I mean, but it's like not like having a best friend.
He was at your house when we were at your house, right?
Yes, he was. Yes. Yeah.
Were y'all close when you were younger?
I mean, yes, but we're very different, so we argue a lot. We see things differently.
Because you're different?
Yes, but you know,
Love.
love, our values, and family. Like, yeah. So, I mean, we've. It's hard for me to like remember unless I tap into my childhood, like trying to tap into like childhood stuff. I just felt like he was getting in trouble a lot when I was younger. I mean, but I feel like we're closer now than when we were growing up, which I think happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
My sister and I fought like cats and dogs.
yeah.
You are like best friends now.
She told me when I was little that robbers were going to break in the house and kidnap me.
Oh my gosh, that is.
Are you younger?
4 years. Which totally backfired on her because I slept in the bed with her for a year after that.
They're gonna get you first.
That's so funny. So I have one brother. He is 14 months older than me, so we're just like a little over a year apart. And my brother's just one of those people that like he's awesome. I mean, he's awesome. He can figure out how to make anything work. As a kid, I mean, we did fight a lot, like over the remote, who was gonna get to do what, everything like that. But I always just remember like his ability to problem solve, to break the rules was always
And
I
get away with it?
yeah, because
Okay.
you're just like, well, what do you even say? Like one time my mom said we couldn't drink milk in the living room anymore. Like we weren't allowed to drink milk in the living room. Milk had to stay in the kitchen. So he built a straw that went from the kitchen to the living room. And you're just like, well, what do I even say? Like, this is, a child. And I mean, he's so impressive. He can figure anything out, and is just like one of those people that I feel like anytime you like tell a problem to, he's immediately solving it. I mean, he could not find a container that perfectly fit his coffee straws, like the coffee stirrers. So he just 3D printed one.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's, super casual. Like, I probably would have looked on Amazon for a while,
Yeah.
Like, he's just, like, an incredible problem solver like that. But we did, fight quite a bit growing up, just, like, over the remote. And being so close in age.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
We didn't have remotes.
Only a year apart. Didn't have remotes.
You fought over
That
the
Who had to go turn
That's
the-
why you didn't have. That's why you didn't fight. Cause
Oh no, we
have,
fought. We fought.
just wasn't over the remote.
I don't know what this skill was, but my sister could pinch with her toes. And like violently pinch. And so you'd be like there because I slept in the bed with her
Yeah.
for a year. And here comes this foot.
My sister
Yeah.
had daggers.
Yeah.
Like, I had scars. I mean, I still have a scar. You see this up here? That's from my sister. Like, on my cheek, that's from my sister when we were younger. Like, her nails were just like...
See, my brother did once, so we were playing a version of basketball down in the basement.
A version
of basketball because there was no hoop and it was with a giant ball. So that's why I say a version. Like, it was like if you hit this specific spot, you scored,
Yeah.
right? Because there was no
This is
hoop
made up.
and we were
Okay.
indoors. So it was just like a made up version of basketball. I think like I'm 7 and he's 8 or something. Well, he decides to get on a swivel chair to block my shot and falls off the swivel chair, of course, and breaks his arm.
No.
Because what else happened?
Well, it's your fault then, right?
No, I mean, he insisted for you. All I did was shoot the ball. You could have just let me have the point, right? Yeah. Like, you didn't have to block it, but we were super competitive. We were competitive forever. I know, shocking. But just super competitive. So breaks his arm, and he insists for years, like, oh, like Brianna had nothing to do with it. It was my fault and everything. And we're teenagers, and he just like flips the story. And he's like, Brianna pushed me. And I'm like, you're like, no, I did not. I mean, just completely changes the story later. And I'm like, excuse me. No, that's not true. But like, we were ultra competitive.
Well, set the
to
record
point.
straight,
Yeah,
Brianna.
set the record straight.
Right here.
I did not break his arm, but like, we were competitive to the point where I had enough high school credits to where I could have graduated a year early, but I chose not to, and then just like pick up like dual enrollment classes during that period of time to get some college credit and only go to school half a day my senior year and still, have that senior year experience. But part of the reason I was thinking about doing it was there was actually another Martin in his class too at the time, so I would have graduated 2 people ahead of him. And that was part of my thinking, is like, oh, he would have had to watch me walk first. Like, this is the final mic drop.
Yes.
Which all seems ridiculous now, and
No, it doesn't.
I'm glad that I didn't do it, because like I'm not sure one should go to college out of state at 17. Like, that seems like a really bad decision. But yeah, I mean, I really considered it because I'm like, oh man, it would have been me and then Callie Martin and then you.
Worth it.
Yeah, I remember my brother playing like pranks on me all the time, and I get so
You know, our
mad.
kids?
Yeah, so mad. God, so mad. And I don't even know how. And I couldn't figure out how he did it, and that's what made me matter.
Like scare pranks or like
no, like what's that called? Y'all, I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Where there's sheets, it looks like the bed's made up, but you get in and it's like double folded, and so you're like
stuck.
Oh, and you're stuck.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. And then he also like controlled one year for Christmas or whatever, asked for like a controller that can turn the light on and off and start the fan. Like a controller, like is a big block white thing. It's like fan, light, right?
Yeah.
And so, because I was like,
How big those are, and
Yeah.
you used to be able to like clap on.
yeah. And so he would a lot of the times figure out how to control that controller from a different controller and like turn my light on and off and fan on and off at the worst times and just like a lot of
Brothers,
stuff.
man, they
I
can just be
know.
doing stuff like that. They can figure stuff
Yeah.
out. Tell me about the most recent internet rabbit hole you went down.
Cool.
That's a good question. I go down a lot of internet rabbit holes.
This is gonna be good.
You want me to tell you what mine was?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear
You
it.
go first. I'm deciding.
This one's gonna bore Laura.
No, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like, oh my god. Mine was sorority recruitment bid day packages because I saw a ad on Facebook for swag for like go ahead and like order your P&M's bid day package.
Yeah.
And so of course then I had to go on there and see how much each bid day package was and how much they cost and what was in them and rate that.
Always.
And then I had to go on the internet and look up the Trunk and Lou and Co and all of these companies and see what they were charging.
But they were charging too. Like, I know you have to send one of these, but like, I'm so deep and invested in it. Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to see how
No.
I
good.
need to
no,
know what
not
these
done.
parents are
Right.
paying for these packages.
That's called market research.
The top,
Yeah.
the top of the
Right.
line was about $500, so it was anywhere from $100 to $500 for what you can get at each store.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a wild one.
Like it's just random stuff I get stuck on, and I'm like, I need to know
that's
this
really what
information.
happens, though. I mean, I guess like mine just they feel like such stupid stuff because like you might at least one day have to send one of those sorority bid packages soon. So
Oh no,
probably not.
I can't afford
No,
that.
yeah, I know, right? Like, can't afford that. I do really like those videos where the person like breaks down like people's outfits and like how much those all cost. I'd say my like most recent rabbit hole that I went down on the internet was about which brand was it about? I think it was about Gucci, and it talked about how like whoever founded Gucci had 3 sons and a daughter, and then he left the company to just his 3 sons. And his daughter thought that like her brothers would stick up for her because she worked for Gucci too, and you know she thought, oh, they'll stick up for me. You know, I'm not really worried. And I guess like it still has like there's still in the bylaws that a woman can never be an owner.
Oh wow.
And is
Gucci?
like deep in there. Yeah, and so I was watching all of these videos about like cancel Gucci, and I'm like, yeah, cancel Gucci. I don't even own anything Gucci. Like I wasn't planning to own anything
You can't afford
Gucci.
it.
Like it was already so canceled in my mind. But you know how you just get like riled up about stuff like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm susceptible to that because that happened to me recently on like, I guess the other one was like gymnastics internet with like the Olympic trials recently. And I was not able to watch a lot of the trials, but I was watching, you know, the scores come in and, you know, seeing how everything was going to land. So I've watched so many routines by so many people I've never heard of and read so many things about people being so critical of these routines, and I'm acting like I really know what a 6.4D is, and like I have no idea. But I'll just sit there and be like, "You're wrong. That's not the best like beam routine I've ever seen." You know, I'm just
yeah.
I'm like, "No, you're wrong. Like this is blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Brianna, why do you care? Like whatever. The one person you cared about making it made it. Yay! Like you should have just been like, yay, and stopped. Haven't stopped." I'm still on gymnastics Twitter.
Okay. After the past year of gymnastics with Piper, with her tumbling, and she had that fall and then like lost everything. Completely could not do it. And the way I heard it, like I've read about it because I had to deep dive on that and figure out what was going on. Explained best was her mind knows exactly what she needs to do. Her body knows exactly what she needs to do. But if you've been burned by touching a stove and you go and walk and try to put your hand on that stove, your body's not going to let you do it. Like you have to not be able to pay attention to do that. Your body's going to be like, nope. And so watching her go through what she's been through the past year for tumbling and knowing what those girls have to be able to put out of their mind, especially Simone Biles with the twisties and stuff, like I understand that on such a different level now. Like whenever she says I could not do it, she could not do it. There was no way for her to go out there and do it and be safe. None. Like she can make herself throw it, but she doesn't know where she's going to land. And that's like so unsafe.
That's too scary. I mean, you're not going to keep doing all the things you're supposed to do to even land safely. But yeah, it is wild to me to see how like fall or they watch someone else get injured and then just had to go. It was like
yeah, just go. You got to put that out of your mind and you got to go. Like it is crazy. And just like knowing the amount of work that goes into actually doing those skills, because you watch them and it's like a 2-minute routine and it's bam, bam, bam flying everywhere. There's so many years of work that go into that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm deep in the rabbit hole now. I know all of the like gymnastics Twitter usernames that comment, and I'm deep into like how people are changing other people's Wikipedias. Like, everyone's changing Michaela Skinner's Wikipedia because she's super canceled now.
Yeah, she's canceled. She's done. She's
all
done.
that stuff, which like fair. I just it's not something I ever thought that I would even know about yet. I somehow I'm as passionate about that as I am about Gucci.
Yeah.
You know?
Why do we get that way?
I don't know. Why did I care what it took to get an Hermes Birkin or Kelly bag? But I was so into that for a while, despite the fact that I'll never own any of that.
TikTok where this guy bought like this little bitty thing off Dior, and he was like, "This is the cheapest thing on the website," and he got it and he like put it on his thing and put like his perfume on it or something. Like it's just a little decorative piece. So then I had to go to the Dior website and look up what the cheapest thing was on there.
Yeah,
every time.
And was it accurate?
I don't know. I think I had trouble getting there. Like I think my page wasn't loading because I was in Thomasville where there's no good internet.
Yeah, but you gotta know. You gotta be like, I bought the cheapest thing from so-and-so. Like, I gotta figure out what that was.
I've got to look at this. I've got to see what that really was. How much did that cost? Can I afford it? Do I want it? No.
Yeah.
Like...
I'm super nosy about strangers. That's a flaw of mine.
I think the most recent thing that I was like started in a rabbit hole and then like intentionally stopped was, and we don't.
Good for you that you stopped. We don't have one of those stories yet.
Too.
Well, because what I'm about to say, like I don't necessarily want to conversate about it, but it was like Project 2025.
Just couldn't catch.
So I was like, but I had to know, and I was like, what is this? And then is it, like all the things.
What do you? Okay, do I need to?
Just look it up later.
It's political. It's like that's why I intentionally stopped. I was like, yep, skirt. And then my things I feel like are like boring. Like the other rabbit hole when I was like learning about Medicare and Medicaid. And
wait, how old are you?
Well, I mean it's for my son, and like I just, yeah. And
I went in one day last week and was Googling Supreme Court decisions and reading through the whole thing, and I was going, I have no idea what this even says. Why am I here?
Right. I was watching the Congress was talking about dishwashers. I was like, why am I watching this?
Why are we like this?
oh my god.
She had a point.
I
was right there with her.
She had a point about them dishwashers. They take too freaking long.
And they're so loud. And they don't,
And we will be right back.
Hey, it's LB from 4 Sips In. Are you a mom who could benefit from postpartum support? Check out happymomswellness.com to learn more about this valuable monthly support that is delivered straight to your door. Use code PODCAST to get 10% off your first order of the postpartum monthly subscription boxes.
Hey Sippers, this is Brianna from 4 Sips In. If you love candles as much as I do, check out Great Bear Wax Company. The soy wax candles are hand poured in small batches and the scents are amazing. Use code Brianna for 10% off your purchase on burnbear.com. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, so roast and toast. I'm toasting to 6 months of 4 Sips In.
Woo! Yes, we are. Yes.
Toasted. I mean, roasted. Yeah,
Toasted.
Toasted.
6 months of 4 Sips In, we are still kicking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many listeners we have, but who cares? Like, we're having fun.
Yeah,
right.
we're having a good
We're
time.
meeting our goals, and
That's right.
It's
like
fun.
I said earlier, this is the only thing getting me through the year.
Right. Yeah. So I'm super happy about that. Toast.
Roast.
Yes, roast.
Roast.
Um,
I hate the bad
Is it
thing.
that you're still talking to yourself on the Facebook page?
Are you?
well, I mean,
Okay.
I've started trying to post pictures now, so start liking.
I want you to know that I saw this LinkedIn post and I thought of you because it said being a social media manager means responding to yourself on your Facebook post.
Oh my god!
And it was like a screenshot where the social media manager posted from the brand, "What's your coffee order?" And she responded from her personal order coffee.
Hey, I do
what
that.
I
I do that.
That is what
And
I
I'm
do.
like, yeah, absolutely. Like we all have to
Why
do
not?
this. But I was like, oh, I should send this to Laura. She'll know she's not.
I will post a funny picture and nobody does anything, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Like I'm going to my personal Facebook and laughing. Like this is good.
Me, every time I do one of like our like face TikToks, I'm like, this is funny, it's gonna go. And like two people watching, I'm like, I don't understand the algorithm.
On
Me and the
TikTok.
algorithm are gonna fight.
Yeah, I just think all the people are wrong. Like they should.
There's so many like factors.
Like they need to watch more
variables,
and like more. So if you're listening, Sippers, tell your friend.
Yeah.
Find some other people for us. That'd be great.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
And you can cut this out, but they can't be drinking out of a tumbler thing. What is that called? Stanley.
No, they can.
Stanley.
They just don't need to have 20 of them.
Oh, okay. Well, if you only have like one or two, you're good.
Or if you have 20 of them, like Nikki and I are just really curious. If you could write in and tell us why. And
send a pic too.
yeah, send us a picture. Let us see your
And
rainbow
I'm also
tumblers.
curious about this. If you bought like 40 different Stanley tumblers at $45 a pop, I want to know what you do for a living and how you make that money.
That too, and I also want to know how much water you actually drink. Like, how many of them do you use? Or is this like a Beanie Baby thing where you think that they're going to
surely
be
not.
worth money later, so you're just getting them as collectibles? So if any of this applies to you, please write in and let us know. We have so many questions. We might even bring you on because we have so many questions.
Gift us 4 of your tumbler, or what are they called?
This is a
Stanley.
yeah.
Yeah, Stanley.
Just let us know. Super curious.
I really
Yeah.
like the ones who have like the little Crocs on the
Thing cover?
like they decorate it with like little gems
That's
and
what
there's,
Brianna
like
said drove her nuts.
little Crocs. But like they're not
Little
decorating
stoppers.
with Stanleys, but
It's
they're
a little
decorating
stopper.
the Stanley.
Yeah.
So
No,
we
that's
have
fine.
one.
That's fine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that and the people that have like little purses that hang on the side and they put their chapstick in and they put money in.
No. I don't mind people doing that. In fact,
that gets on
I
my
really
nerves.
respect the people who have the snack trays for the top of them. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a great idea. That all I really respect. It's to me the people who use them as like statement pieces. Like, welcome to my home. I own 45 tumblers. And you're just like, congrats. I don't know.
Do you bowl with those? Like set them up and
Yeah, exactly. Do you use them for any purpose? We've just got to know. So write in, tell us. We're super curious. We're not judgmental.
tag
we give
us
you a
on
lot of grace.
Facebook.
And we are judgmental, but
Okay, a little bit.
we're not going to say it out loud. We won't record it. We'll say it to each other.
Yeah, don't worry. But let us know. Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Cheers to deep conversations.